Good afternoon and welcome to Healing from Complex PTSD. My name's Linda. I'm your certified trauma recovery coach and educator. I write courses so that professionals can help individuals recover from complex PTSD for real. I've been through the whole process myself, and welcome to all the new followers. I know I haven't been online for a while. It's been pretty busy with writing the courses, developing the certification, and also becoming accredited. And in the midst of all that, getting an ADHD diagnosis and so much more. Now, we have a global family across a number of platforms. So one of our global family members wanted to know, how can I know if I'm feeling my emotions? And when we have a background of developmental trauma and the impact that it has on our brain, which up until around 8 years ago, we as individuals didn't know what that meant for us either. So the information that we could study and the neuroscience only began becoming available from 8 years ago. Now, it's not an easy recovery road, but my hope is that with each bit of information that I'm able to share with you and you're able to ask questions. So leave your questions in the comments on whatever platform this is on, and I will get either myself or one of the girls to make a note of it, and I'm going to do my best to answer all the questions that I can. Now, the questions are answered from a neuroscience perspective, and it's all about healing our brain, reconnecting our brain. It's not about regulating our nervous system. For us, it's about reconnecting our brain, which reconnects all of our systems. Okay. Now, how can we know if I'm feeling my emotions? So our emotions are automatic. They're body-based responses. They happen first, usually like within milliseconds. They can be triggered by something internal, so sensory, or external. And so think about when you're online and your body tenses because you pick up someone's tone of voice in their actual opinion, okay? You become aware that you feel really unsettled, all right? So it's often without words. It's just, you know that this person's not happy, Jan, okay? But our feelings are our conscious awareness of the emotion, and it involves thinking and labeling what's happening for us internally. It's slower than the emotions, and they're going to be influenced by our beliefs, our past, or our current state. So if we're stressed, obviously, it is really hard to go into a situation where there's a lot of people who are happy. When we're going to pick up that they're happy, but we're not going to feel really good about it. And so we then start thinking about it. What's that mean for me? What's going to happen for me? What do I need to do? How do I fit in? Okay, so we notice the fear as well, and we think, I feel unsafe or anxious. Or what do you feel when you walk into a room full of people and, happy birthday celebrations, let's say, and you really don't feel comfortable? What's the actual feeling that comes up for you at that time? Now, we need to build our emotional awareness, okay? Our emotional awareness doesn't just arrive with a whole language bank. We can often spend years going, I really don't understand what's going on, okay? Now, one of the quickest ways you can resource whether this is happening for you or not is if you sit here right now and you go, okay, just going to take a deep breath, but I'm going to blow it all out with and we're going to go, what am I feeling? Can I actually get any sense in my body of an emotion? Or as I sit here and I think, what am I feeling? Am I thinking outside in this space going, yeah, that'd be how I feel considering that what all the events that have happened today? So we want to be able to begin to discern, am I thinking about my feelings out here, or am I feeling what's happening for me internally, literally feeling energy move, and then I'm going to label that energy and I'm going to be able to work with it at differing layers. Okay? So you're not overthinking or explaining. If you're in your head trying to explain why you feel something, then you definitely probably are not feeling it internally yet. We do have to do what I've just said and get in touch with what's happening in my body. We may even notice sensations in our body. So one of the first things that happened for me when I was doing all my work, reconnecting the brain, is I actually got this felt sense in my gut of a gut instinct. Now, all my life, I never knew that that's what a gut instinct was, that you actually feel it in your gut. I thought my gut instinct was always my intuition. But it's not. When we have a gut instinct, we know that we know that we know what's happening. And it happened this morning, actually. It doesn't happen lots. But someone was replying to a comment I made, and I just sat here and I go, I know there's something wrong about this comment. And I was like, I have to sit down and work this out. And I went through it all, and I could see that they're gaslighting me, they're avoidant, and they don't want to have an actual conversation. And I went, no wonder I began to feel in my gut there was something wrong, because there is. It's whether we like it or not, our tone travels across the internet. Okay? Now, another way we build emotional awareness is we begin to notice sensations in our body too. Now, for us at the beginning of our journey, if we sit here and say, I said to you, okay, I want you to sit here now, just very calmly, just place your hand on your heart and breathe. But what I want you to be aware of is when you begin to breathe in, how far in does that breath actually go for you? Do we aim to feel like the sensations of the breathing going all the way through us? Or when we go to breathe, does it feel like it gets caught in our throat? For me, initially, it definitely got caught in my throat. And for my clients as well, it definitely got caught in their throat as well. So this is how we know that the disconnect, the dissociation is happening as well, because we can't actually get into our bodily space easily. Another way that we will need to do this is we have to begin to name our emotions, and without needing to fix it. So one of the key emotions that often trip us up is anger, because the brain can automatically shut us down in childhood, shut the anger down, because the anger can be, not always, but can be a sign that if I'm angry, then there's disconnection that happens in the family. Because we can watch it around us happening when the adults are angry, the disconnect, they're not loving and kind. Remember, as a child, we don't have the language for any of this. So then it's like this automatic shutdown. So then when we go to feel emotions as an adult, it's like, I'm not allowed to do this. So we actually have to give ourselves permission to feel that anger and not want to change it. Not want to rush in and go, oh no, that's over there. Oh yeah, I've dealt with that. And I can guarantee the minute any of us say, I've dealt with that, it's like, oh, here comes another aspect of this that I've got to work through. Okay? So we have to be building this awareness all the time. And we've got to be aware that emotion moves or shifts gently. It's not this, then this, then this, then this. So it's not, oh, it's this part going, inner critic, you can't be that, you're horrible, you're, all the negatives that we can repeat ad nauseum in our brain over and over again. When we're doing that, it often started from the brain being triggered, okay? And we have to do other work to get back into our present self. So we also need to build an awareness of when we're feeling numb or frozen, okay? Am I able to feel my emotions, or am I aware that my body is just stiff as a board? They're the kind of things that we want to build that awareness around. And all of this is totally normal when you've got developmental trauma and it impacts your brain. It is completely normal that these things are happening and they're out of your control in the present moment because the brain's driving them from when it was trained that way when we were younger, okay? So no giving yourself this blame game. Instead, have hope that we can do this, okay? There's ways through and every individual needs their own way. So emotions may feel overwhelming or they may just shut us down. Initially, it's like, really? I can touch that emotion? Not sure that I even want to be able to admit to my trauma coach that that emotion's there, especially when we've grown up with generations of family who don't talk about emotions, okay? They live in the land of denial, okay? Or sometimes we say they're floating down the river of denial because they never chose to want to know, okay? Now, whether that's okay or not is up for debate any given point of your trauma recovery journey. Honestly, it really is. But for now, for today, I've got to be able to recognise what the brain's driving, okay? Now, the trauma, the developmental trauma, disrupts our natural connection between our brain, our body, and our soul. And reconnecting starts with gentle awareness. Now, one of the things you can do as well is get your journal out, or even if you have a journal on your phone, which these days you can get an app, okay? You can get an app for that if you want to do it on your phone, and you can have a key lock on it, on your phone that is, and it keeps it really private. But the best thing you can start to do, even if it's not journaling and writing lines and lines, because some people don't like that, even if you get out your notes app and you just type a word. Now, if you have trouble doing that, just one word a day is a massive achievement, because our brain is so powerful that the resistance to changing things up in your recovery journey is huge. Okay, the resistance is real. So we want to acknowledge and allow for that and go, okay, I want this more than I want the resistance to win. Sometimes that was the only way I could look at it, because I didn't have the information that I have today, over the last number of years, because it was just, I deserve just to be able to live and move and breathe and just have a life. Especially when you wander around going, what the heck's going on? Why can't I just be normal? And it's frustrating when we're at that stage and we don't have the information. We don't know how powerful our brain is, okay? So emotional safety internally for us isn't just about regulation. And in fact, if you can't feel the energy, the emotional energy, can't feel the feelings inside of your body, the last thing you want to be doing is saying you need to be emotionally regulated. And that's because it starts with the brain reconnecting, not the nervous system being regulated. There's so many people across the world I know that have tried to do nervous system regulation, and there's no way we can do it with developmental trauma, because quite often we've lived decades in a dissociative state, and it's at this time our normal state. And to try and regulate when you dissociate, it's just not going to happen. It won't happen, and it's not your fault. And I think if there's one thing I want to say is this is not your fault, and we now have the information to begin to be able to get well as well. Okay. If you're ready for support on your journey, I do complex trauma coaching, and on my website is a list of other coaches who are being trained in the neurosync modality as well. And you can go into the Thriver library and you can resource over 500 bits of CPtsd information. So there's courses, there's books, there's CPtsd information, there's lots, so that you can get your teeth in, and you can even work with whoever. You can work with a coach and a therapist, or just a therapist. But every time you're using the information and observing and seeing how it lands with you, you're building up your internal strength to go, okay, now I see that I need another bit here as well. Okay, it's hard. It's hard to even ask for help. Another thing that you can do is go into our peer support Facebook group, and you will meet the loveliest, kindest people who are all taking their one next step at a time as well. Okay, it's hard, but it's worth it. Now, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer, you can leave it down below, and I will definitely get a note of it, and we will continue to educate and help you have the confidence to take one next step to become well. And also, I think that was it. Oh, yeah, just let me know how you've been, how your journey's going, and what kind of information you need as well. Okay, oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. This particular carousel set will also be online on my social media, so that you can take it, you can journal about each part, and you can take it to therapy or trauma coaching with you. You can sit and work with it, even with a friend. Okay, just take one next step, because that one next step is always the hardest, because we do meet resistance. Thank you for joining in, and I hope this helps, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.